Hi. I've been watching and reading a lot of end of the world fiction lately. There seem to be a lot of movies out now on the big screen and on video about disaster and the end of the world, sort of as we know it, or the end of the world anyway. We just went to see Doomsday, which was terrible but hilarious at the same time. And I watched 28 Weeks Later, and I just watched a preview for The Happening, which is the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. I guess this all started with Mad Max, but it seems like there's more and more of this stuff accumulating in the culture sphere lately. If Hollywood is showing us what we want to see, does that mean that we want to see the end of the world? I mean, do we want to see sort of this massive catastrophe happen? Is that, I guess it's not directly wishful thinking on our part, because that doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think there's a lot of people out there who actually want the world to end. There's a lot of people probably who want the world to change, I think, but not to end. And a lot of what we're seeing in Hollywood right now is the world ending. We do know that this can't possibly go on like this forever. We can't continue the way that we are right now and have it come out as a happy ending. I guess for us, maybe people who are 20-somethings now might make it through our lives without having to really be concerned with the actual destruction of human civilization. But I have a 2-year-old, and she's not gonna make it probably to the happy ending. I don't know if it's gonna work as sort of like a reverse psychology thing, if we're gonna be able to say to ourselves, okay, we have to stop doing this. We need to recognize that we can't continue along the path that we're on right now. Or if we just are gonna kind of give up and have this be what happens, and basically just not put in the effort to try and change things. I guess it's hard for me to accept that might be true. I don't know. Obviously, a lot of people don't know about art from the Dark Ages in Greece and Rome, but it was very focused around death, and it was very flat and sort of geometric, and it was intense in that there's a lot of detail in it sometimes if you look at it, but at the same time it's very structured and very patterned. I'm in here. I'm over here. And it's hard to see, I think, the similarity between the Dark Age and the stuff that we have right now, because there's a lot of spectacle and ornamentation in what we see around us in culture. But I really do think that it's at least mostly similar in that it's a broom. It is something. It definitely tells a lot about us, and I think it says the same thing as what the Dark Ages art said. The other thing that I noticed about this is that it's mostly about the survival of the individual. There's very little concern about the continuation of the species or of community, and there's no brotherhood of man. Yeah, okay. I had a friend of mine who's into New World Order stuff. Let's get some medicine. He's very into New World Order. And it really doesn't appeal to me as a solution, because it seems to me that if there was a group of people out there really controlling things, they probably would not make it so obvious. Or if there is really a shadowy cabal of men out there, they're not probably the shadowy cabal of men that we think they are. And if it is all a big plot, then it seems kind of pointless to work on a plot that you can't see, but ignore the plot that you can. If Bush Company is only here until November, there's still a lot of time between now and November for them to fuck up the world. Pardon my French. I don't know. I believe that the popular art and fiction of today is a strong indicator of our society's temperature. We can affect that, I think, to a certain extent. I'm not sure how. The Dark Age just kind of ended. It wasn't suddenly, and it didn't happen overnight. But from our point of view, 3,000 years later, it was pretty dramatic, and it was pretty spectacular. Somebody, one of my teachers, one of the probably greater influences in my life, Dr. Bertman, told me to tend my own garden and to speak to the multitude, and even if only 5 or 6 people in the room are listening and are affected by what you're saying, at least those 5 or 6 people are paying attention. And you can only hope that that will be enough. So, I don't know, I guess I'm thinking about trying to surround myself with positivity, trying to surround myself with things that are encouraging and that will hopefully eventually bring us to some place where we can really grow as a culture and hopefully break out of the cycle of destruction that we're in right now. And with that, I think I'm going to end this particular little recording.